following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
The Nostalgia Funhouse proudly dedicates all episodes in the loving memory of Connie Chirac. So, Johnny, I've been hearing really great things about this Nostalgia Funhouse. It just brings back so many great memories.
Andrew, the only reason I'm moving in line with you here is that you really vouched for this show. So I'm just going to believe you that this is the show that I've been wanting, which is just talking about all the fun stuff from our yesteryear and the years before. And I really hate anything meta, so I'm glad that what we're doing right now is not that.
Oh, no, definitely. What is meta? Isn't that Ron Artest's new name?
Well, add World and Peace to it, sure.
Yeah, but this is great. They, last year they were tearing play sets and Halloween costumes.
Well, that sounds cool.
They get these weird court recordings from pop culture courts.
Does anybody care about court cases?
These ones are kind of cool. They put Scott Kelvin on trial. Poor Santa Claus there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, man. You know what's the best part about this is, though? Is I hear they always got a really great sponsor. You can check it out right there.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
Yahoo! It's showtime! Hey, annoying hombres making you do stuff you hate. Don't lose your head. Make them history. Think that's scary? Watch this! Whoa! That went right through me.
Did you see that?
Now watch this. First, a double team. Now, a double scare. Nobody beats me. So when you want to scare somebody, give me a call.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice! Gotta go!
Hello, and welcome to the Nostalgia Haunted House. I'm your the host, Fredula, and I want to introduce the spookiest boys around, Andrew Lins and Johnny Townsend. Oh, thank you, Fred. I appreciate that intro.
Fred Dracula.
I got one question for you. Andrew.
What's that?
Daylight come, man.
We want to go.
We want to go home. Let's not forget Day.
I still listen to Jump in the Line. It's definitely Spotify playlist is Jump in the Line, Harry Belafonte.
Yeah. Today, of course, on the show, we are talking and reviewing the original Beetlejuice movie.
Whoa.
Oh, no, we're not. We're not doing that.
Don't say it too many times.
I only said it once. We can't say it two more times. He who shall not be named.
That is still one of my favorite. That's probably still my favorite part in Ted 2.
Oh, yeah.
When he's like, I got to do it, Johnny. I got to do it. And he starts saying his name. He's like, you don't want that guy running around here. You don't know what you're doing.
I've forgotten that in the movie Beetlejuice, he doesn't spell his name the same way as they do in the actual movie.
No, it's like Beetlegeist.
Yeah. I've forgotten about that. But that's what we're doing today. We're reviewing and talking about that movie. Of course, the sequel's come out. Andrew's seen it. I haven't.
Yeah, it's
everything. I've not heard anybody say they hated it. It's been fairly positive. Some people have really loved it, but some people were kind of like where you're at, where it's it's good. It's just not as good as the first one. Kind of.
No. It's hard to topple the first ones. The first one
had everything going for it. I think
that's one of our topics that I got written down. It's sequels that are better than the originals, or sequels that we enjoy more than the originals.
Yeah, like Gremlins 2.
And Hellboy 2.
Yes, Hellboy 2 is really good. Yeah.
I love Gremlins 2.
I do. I will defend Gremlins 2 forever. I will be on that hill fighting everybody off.
It's got Hulk Hogan. It's got everybody.
You can't go wrong with Gremlins 2.
It's got Count Dooku. I mean, what do you want in there?
Yeah, for crying out loud. It's giving you everything.
Oh, the twin scientists? But we're not talking about. Gremlins too.
No, we're talking about Beetlejuice.
From the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Adam and Barbara are ghosts.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
Their house is being haunted by the living,
Maybe the house could use a little remodeling.
and they can't scare them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
who's no ordinary ghost.
You don't want his help.
Can you be scary? What do you think of this?
Now, the party's over.
You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out of your house.
But the fun has just begun.
It's showtime. Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party.
Not bad.
This is amazing.
Want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you. Oh, yeah, here I come, baby.
He's guaranteed to put some life
Attention, keyboard shoppers.
in your afterlife. Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
This movie came out March 30th of 1988.
A year before Batman. He does Batman.
Budget of $15 million. Box office $84.6 million. Million dollars.
$1 million. Yeah. This movie's got a great cast.
Yes.
A teenage Winona Ryder. This is like one of her first big things that really catapults her name out there. I'd forgotten how good the cast was, but it's really good. I'd forgotten a certain Andrew, who plays the boss, the guy's boss.
The guy's boss.
Yeah, the main, like he comes in to see the haunting.
Oh, Robert Goulet?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Also, I didn't realize that there was a Dick Cavett sighting in this movie.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute. Like, for years I've watched this, and obviously, like, through parents, I found out who Dick Cavett was and old TV shows. And then all of a sudden I'm watching this again. I'm sitting there, and it's the first dinner, and I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm like, wait. And I look it up and I'm like, oh, yep, it's Dick Cavett.
And I'm blanking her name, but the old lady who's like their caseworker, the ghost caseworker. I was like, I've seen her before. And then I remembered she's the old lady in Mars Attacks. That guy's grandma.
Is she really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
And she is awesome. She rules.
Yeah, that was her last film role.
Yeah.
I was gonna see what. Yeah, I don't know her from really anything else.
But just being in those two movies, it's like,
Well,
You
she
win for
was
me.
in one of your favorite movies, Damien the Omen 2.
oh, I've seen that for sure.
It's Johnny's watch list right now.
Yeah.
So we talked about a young cast and how this cast is. I'm just gonna get through one of my notes right here, and I don't know. Take it how take it how it is or whatever.
Okay.
But I put in Adam Baldwin looks human. Like, he doesn't look. I don't know. He looks like
he looks like a person.
He looks like a person, like an everyday guy.
Yeah.
And then
You're right. Yeah.
it just seems like he's just this, I don't know, like villain boss from some movie. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He just looks
Okay.
like a guy you'd see in town.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just night and
I know what you mean. Yeah.
day between the two. Okay.
Yeah, I
just
got you. I
that
got
was the
you.
only way I could like think about it is he just looks human.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, I'm assuming you, like me, saw this movie as a child.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I knew you would, because this is
Yeah.
obviously in the
It's a
kids,
kid's
movie
movie.
realm. I mean, even I saw this as a kid. So,
It's a kid's movie.
but I have not seen this movie in easily a decade at least. So it's
Oh,
been
really?
a while since I'd watched it. Yeah.
I would say it's about a year or two for me when I watched it.
But I don't know why, because this movie's kind of right down my alley for Halloween. and that it's sort of a goofy, scary type of movie in a way.
Yeah, and I had to laugh because watched it on the good old Max there,
Yeah, same.
and the very
Shout out to Gary.
and the next and then you know how it comes with like movies you also may like,
Yeah,
and it was The Corpse Bride, and I kind of had to laugh
yeah,
because of the scene in this movie where they are
yeah.
pretty much corpse brides, and I'm like, oh, and I understand that's a Tim Burton movie, and
Yeah.
but it was
No,
very
I know. I told you and Will on our other show that this movie terrified me as a kid, but I still liked it. Like this is one of the few movies that I thought was scary, but I still enjoyed it as a kid. If that makes any sense.
See, I don't remember being scared of that. I just
I told you I was a weird little kid who like little things would scare me that shouldn't. Like I was explaining to you and Will that there's that scene where the Maitlands are trying to show that they can be scary.
yeah.
No, it's Beetlejuice. It's Beetlejuice doing it. He's trying to show them that he can be scary, and like you only see it from the back, but like his head, obviously, like all these snakes or whatever pops out of his head.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I had it in my brain that like you saw everything, but in reality, you only see it from the back, and it doesn't really show anything at all.
Nope.
So I should not have been scared of that in the least, like I was.
So yeah, to if you've never seen Beetlejuice, we'll kind of get into the plot here. So you got the Maitlands, Adam and Barbara, and they're spending vacation decorating their home.
They're having a staycation.
Yeah, staycations before there was a stake, before we had to name stuff like
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just because this is the 80s still.
Yeah, this is a small town up in Connecticut, I believe.
Yes, Winter River, Connecticut. This is like I said, this is the 80s when we had Saturday morning cartoons and Ronald Reagan and the Cold War, because Johnny knows how I like to romanticize about the Cold War.
Yes.
It's coming to an end, but I do believe it's still around at this time. Little bit, little bit. We're hanging on to it.
We're still trying to figure out if we should get under the desk.
Did I ever tell you what really like kind of like in a way this still makes me laugh? Where I was like, I knew it was like over is when G.I. Joe came out with a Russian.
Yeah.
He wasn't evil. And he wasn't cold.
He's just a normal Russian guy. Yeah.
He was a normal Russian guy, and he said comrade all the time, and I always thought that was cool. But
yeah.
Okay. So back to this. No more.
His name was Vodka Job.
The go job for snow job. So they're in the small town of
it's a drink job for vodka job.
Winter River, Connecticut, and then they're doing the staycation, and Adam is putting.
You know what this makes me miss, Andrew, is there's not very many of them around. You have to go out of your way to find them. The covered bridge.
I've never been over in a cup.
Really? Yeah.
They're
so rare now. Like they're hard to find. I've been over like I want to say 2 or 3, but like they're so rare and they're nowhere like
it's a rare edition this day and age. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
My mind.
But you know what? But they just look neat to me. Yeah.
Were they in the bridges of Madison County?
No, we don't have a Madison County down here.
But so Jane Butterfield, which she is also little Jane is in the second one. A lot of Easter eggs in the second one. I'm gonna say that.
Okay, yeah, I figured there would be. Yeah,
a lot of good Easter eggs. So if you did watch this before the second one, you'll pick up on them. But I don't think I would have picked up on too many if I didn't watch this and then the second one.
Now I do believe in real life, the actor who played what do you say Otto the guy who steals the book.
Yeah, Ortho.
He passed away in real life. So is he kind of mentioned in the new movie?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
Which makes me sad.
Yeah.
No Ortho. But so they got to run into town. Adam wants to run into town and to buy something for his model to, make it perfect because
he has a sweet model up in the attic. It's really cool. And I remember as a kid thinking that thing looked awesome.
And that's the opening scene is them running through this model. it, what is with Tim Burton? I noticed that too. Even with Batman, it's always running through something, and I think they do that again in Edward Scissorhands, where it's like running like a camera kind of running through a town.
Oh, maybe it's like one of his. Directors have signatures
Yeah,
to their
but I
stuff.
just
Yeah.
know that. So they're going into one of Johnny's favorite covered bridges, but that's also dangerous, Johnny, because there's a dog. They swear.
No, 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 no. The bridge isn't dangerous. That dog is just a jerk.
Oh, it is. So they crash, and they're over the side of the bridge. The dog is the only thing holding them on from
Yeah.
sinking into the water. But
And the
then,
dog, of course, jumps off because, again, he's a real D bag.
yeah. So you don't know it yet, but they're Sixth Sense Bruce Willis at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then they realize it way before Bruce Willis does.
Yeah. It took Bruce Willis the whole movie.
Yeah. Doesn't take them that long. This is like 15, 20 minutes in, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
'Cause
also, I want to point this out too, because uh every time we cover a movie, I try to like look into the making of it and all these little fun little facts. The title character is actually barely in this movie.
I did notice that because I kept on trying to figure it out. It was like 40 minutes of almost 40 minutes in.
Yeah, and I think total screen time is like 17 minutes or something like that for him. Like it's
Yeah.
very little compared to the whole movie.
Like you don't see him until about 40 minutes in.
Right, yeah.
But Adam steps out and they go into like a desert like landscape populated by sandworms. And Barbie rescues them. And she claims they've only been gone for 2 hours, and then they discover the handbook for the recently deceased.
Yeah.
This is when they realize they are dead.
That's right. Yeah, they figure it out just in time for a new family
Yes,
to show up. The Dietz, yeah.
The Dietz, Charles Dietz and his second wife, Delia. And it's so weird to see Charles's teenage goth daughter when we're talking about Winona Ryder.
Yeah, because she is literally when she's making this movie, she's 15 turning 16.
Is she really?
Yes.
Did she do this before or after Heathers?
I don't know. I have no idea.
This
Andrew's researching.
after Heather. So her first movie was Lucas? I don't know.
George?
No, you've never seen Lucas?
I don't know if I have or not. That's just
It's
a name.
Great endearing movie there. Corey Haim vehicle.
I'll say no more.
Are you a Corey guy?
You had me at Corey Haim.
I love my Corys. I love Corey Feldman and I love Corey Haim. Okay.
Yeah. And Corey Matthews. Corey Matthews is great.
I don't know if he's up there with Feldman and Haim.
I'll fight you on this.
But their house is sold, and they're trying to figure out how to get rid of the Dietz because they want to. The Dietz are pretty much New York people.
Now, let's be fair though. Only the stepmom really wants to change the house.
Yes,
the other two are perfectly fine with how it is.
I like this. Okay, because I know people can't sometimes separate. I'm just gonna go this way. I agree 100% with the father in this.
We're talking about the character.
Yes, the
character, not the actor. Just we always want to separate that. Whenever we're talking about this movie, we're purely talking about the character. Yeah. Because I'm with you. I know what you're about to say. The dad in this, he's actually not that bad.
I think he's reasonable.
He just wants to relax.
He wants to get away from New York. He wants to relax. He wants to sit in his den.
The only thing that would even approach him to being jerkish was when he was talking to his boss saying, "Hey, we can buy this whole town up."
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But it's like such a small, sleepy town. I don't even know if they would even know what was happening.
No.
Especially that barber. He wouldn't know anything.
No. I love it how he just keeps on talking.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So they're consulting the handbooks to see how to get rid of the deets. I almost said the geets, but because I'm reading ahead and it says Beetlejuice, and they see the
Yeah.
advertisement
The
for it
deets, the bleeps,
in the sweeps
and the sweeps.
and the Beetlegeises. The advertisement for Beetlejuice in there, and they travel to the otherworldly waiting room. And this is where I think they do a great job with like where this movie does overall great job with like death. Anytime other in another movie somebody dies, like they just come back.
Yeah,
Here,
as like just themselves perfectly fine. But in this
no,
universe, how you died is how you come back. Yeah.
yes, like the guy choking on the chicken bone, and
Yeah. The girl cut in half.
yep.
Yeah.
Or when they finally do get called back, there, the guy that got ran over, and he's like
Yeah.
completely flat. And I'm
Yes.
like, I like how they did that. I appreciate it more now because
Same. Yeah.
I see every other movie you die, you're like, oh, you're coming back as a ghost, Patrick Swayze, and you're perfectly fine. You
Yeah.
can pottery and um possess Whoopi
And
Goldberg.
yeah, and have Whoopi Goldberg be your vehicle. Yeah.
So after navigating, they return home because they find out that there's really nothing they could do. They're dead. It's up to them because they meet their caseworker,
But
Juno.
they're warned. Yeah, Judo warns them though. Don't you dare
No,
hire that man, that ghost,
and don't
because
say his name.
he used to work for her. So that's how she knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't say his name.
Yeah.
Don't. So they also disclose that the Maitlands must remain in their house for 125 years before moving on.
Yeah.
And that's where also. So Adam and Barbara are invisible to Charlie and Delia because there is a part where they are moving in, and I thought this was great. And they're trying to scare him, like uh, Gina Davis is hanging in a closet, but
Yeah.
Ortho and Delia can't see him.
Yeah.
So, but you think they're gonna see him like when they open up the door and they're like, "Oh my goodness!" And then all of a sudden they talk about the closet
Yeah.
or they talk about the wall. I really thought that was
But
great.
one person can see them.
Yes, and that is Lydia. And I've got to say something when they are going around trying to scare him with the sheets, Johnny. I was a little upset because when they walked into Delia's room, there was wrestling on, and I did not know who was in that match.
I couldn't tell either. Yeah.
I thought maybe Oli, but everybody kind of looks like Oli back then.
Yes. Yeah. Only is like the quintessential '80s wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, it wasn't WWF. It had to be some NWA action. And we're not talking about
Which is wild because they're up in Connecticut.
Yeah. Well, to us that's wild, but I think for anybody that doesn't know about that,
That's just yeah, it's just yeah.
it's like that was probably the cheapest way to go because Vince was
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Ah, you want me in this movie? You want my guys?
Yeah.
You're gonna pay me,
Yep.
or you could just show me where the nearest closet is."
Yeah, I gotta take a poop. Is what he's thinking.
This is the person, Vince McMahon. We are talking about the person.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the awful person.
But Lydia can seize him, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? We're gonna get this guy. We're gonna hire him. We're gonna hire this Beetlejuice guy. And they say his name, and they are transported into the model. They unbury him, and this is where your scene comes in, where you
Yeah.
they get scared, but they're not. But he tries to show them how to scare them. I mean, and then pretty much from there, they were like, "Hey, we're not gonna deal with this guy." And then they possess.
They immediately notice they know their mistake.
Yeah,
Immediately. Yeah.
he's not a good guy, not a good guy.
No. No.
But they at a dinner party, this is the classic daylight Deo with the
Yeah, where everybody dances.
yeah at the party, but
And the lobsters grab their faces and pull it in.
yep,
Yeah.
but everybody likes it. Nobody gets scared because they're like, hey, they're gonna come running out at any moment, and they're like, no, this is great. We should turn this into something. Uh,
Yeah.
Then Juno calls him back to the afterlife and berates him because they release Beetlejuice. I remember Juno, the caseworker. I always thought she was in this way more too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I thought she had way more lines and way more like a bigger part, but it just seems kind of like sporadic.
Right. Yeah.
So this is where Charles invites his boss to see if there can't be any evidence of this. But
Now, Ortho has also stolen the book.
yes, Ortho has stolen the book, people.
Yeah.
The guidebook for the recently deceased. You know what's weird as a kid, and I didn't realize this either. I thought that was just like a book. I didn't realize because they died,
Yeah.
they got this book. Okay, so
Same.
I'm glad
But
that I'm
like it
not
was
the
a
only
book
one.
that like even the living. The thing is confusing though is that it's a book that even the living can apparently interact with.
Yeah, that is weird because they do
Yeah.
it in the second one too.
Because you would think if it's a book you get when you die that only like ghosts could interact with it.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But this is kind of where we get the majority of Beetlejuice at this point. Uh, so Lydia, they're doing like an exorcism, and it's conducted through the handbook. But they're like, Ortho, stop, and he can't stop. So Lydia go gets Beetlejuice, but he will only help her if she will marry him, so he can permanently come back to the mortal world. He saves the Maitlands, drives away Ortho and the Deans, or those were the you know Charles bosses. Then prepares to marry Lydia. I remember this being such longer too, and this is like bang, bang, bang.
It's
Uh,
very fast.
so the Maitlands attempt to banish Beetlejuice by saying his name. Adam is transported to the top model. Barbara is into I believe they call it Saturn. But then she rides a sandworm back and devours Beetlejuice. And then this that takes care of Beetlejuice. And then the Deets and the Maitlands agree to live harmonious together. And the Maitlands are close to Lydia. Beetlejuice is then seen in the afterworld waiting in the waiting room and waiting his turn. And he steals the witch doctor's number and he shrinks his head. And there's the movie.
Now I will say overall the special effects in this movie are still awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the special effects in this. The only time to me that they really showed their age is in the very last scene where they shrink Beetlejuice's head.
Yeah. And then two is I've noticed I rather prefer like I can understand like that's probably all computer generated and everything else for that time. But
Yeah.
now I'm realizing that I'd rather go back and watch these movies and watch that really crappy effects or like if they get crappy practical effects than really crappy CGI.
Yes, I agree completely because there's a lot of stop motion in this.
Yes.
There's a lot of miniatures used in this, and I love that stuff with a passion. That stuff is so
All when those
fun for me.
sculptures come alive.
Yeah, yeah. It's done so well, and to me, the main reason to use practical effects is like you're saying that they. I personally feel they age much better than CGI does.
Yes. Yeah. So here what I got in my notes is I wanted to know. So there's the part where the Maitlands died, and then Jane comes right before the Deets come. And they're like, hey, Jane's outside. We'll yell for Jane. And they're yelling for Jane, and Adam's sticking his head dead out the window, but he can't go out the door.
Well, it's just, the only way that I looked at it was like it wasn't his whole body.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
when he sticks his when your whole body goes outside the house, you end up in that desert land with the snake, with the worm,
Sandworm.
the sandworm. Yeah,
I got to make a popcorn bucket out of that. Uh, I really liked Ortho.
yeah.
And then oh, the lady in the waiting room that's telling him to take a number in the afterlife waiting room.
Yes. Yeah.
I never realized she makes a suicide reference
Yes.
because she goes, "My little accident," and then she like holds up her wrist.
Yeah, and it's been cut. Yeah.
Yep. And I like the fly when he attracts the fly. I've
Yes.
always loved that since a kid.
Yeah. Like even I love the voice the fly has. Um, I want to tell you a little bit of trivia here. Do you know who Tim Burton's first choice was to play Beetlejuice? It wasn't Keaton.
Michael Douglas
No, you'll never ever get this name. Sammy Davis Jr.
to play Beetlejuice.
I don't. Yeah, he would have been 61 at the time. By the way,
I don't see it.
I don't either.
I really, really enjoy Sammy Davis.
Yeah, he's awesome. There's nothing against him.
That's probably like one of my favorite All in the Family episodes is when Archie meets Sammy Davis Jr.
Do you know who was who was going to be Delia Dietz, the stepmom originally? Because this makes complete sense to me.
I was gonna say Glenn Close, but it's not. I'm thinking of somebody different.
No, I'm going to give you a clue. The
Meryl-
Munsters.
The person that played Lily.
Angelica Houston.
When was she?
Huston. I always say her last name wrong.
You mean the Adams Family?
Oh, did I say? Oh, I said Munsters because I have Munsters on it. I just watched the Munsters like this morning.
I'm like, wait a
Sorry.
minute. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Say her or Meryl Streep. I don't know why I could picture Meryl Streep in that role.
And listen to these names of people who are all going for the role that Winona Ryder ended up with. Lori Loughlin, Diane Lane, Sarah Jessica Parker, Brooke Shields, Molly Ringwald, and Jennifer Connelly.
Nope. Perfect casting.
I agree completely.
Perfect. There's not one name in there that I would switch out.
And they're all great actresses. Nothing against them.
But
Winona Ryder fits this so like it's like you hit pay dirt with her casting for this.
Yeah, there's no way. And when she reprises the role in Beetlejuice, it's like it never doesn't feel awkward or weird.
Yeah.
Because Michael Keaton, I think after watching this and Batman, I don't think he gets enough credit as he does as an actor. And I know there's way more stuff that he could do. Like there's some range with this guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even in one of his, what I consider one of his most recent movies, because I don't watch too many newer movies all the time, like I used to, is even in The Other Guys. He's great in The Other Guys, and the only thing that got me, okay, is in the cartoon, they're Lydia and Beetlejuice are like best friends.
Yeah, they're
all of a sudden
buddies.
in these movies,
The Maitlands aren't even in the cartoon.
Nope. It's just the Deets,
yeah,
and Beetlejuice because you
right.
will see like the cartoon father every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah. Now, of course, for a long time before the sequel finally came out, there was always rumors that there was going to be a sequel because this movie did very well. The first sequel was going to be called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
That would have been horrible.
I'm glad it didn't happen. And we could thank Batman Returns for it not happening.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Because Danny Elfman does the music on this one, and he comes.
Oh, yeah, the music is so good too. Let's talk about how great this soundtrack is. It's phenomenal.
And the second one is produced by Brad Pitt Studios.
Finally, he's doing something with his name.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought this was pretty good. I thought it was.
He named his studios after himself.
It literally says Brad Pitt Studios because as I'm watching the second one, it said like he's got a producer and executive producer role, and it says Brad Pitt, and I'm like, whoa.
Okay. I think I saw his name on something else that he produced. I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
Oh, produced by Plan B Entertainment is what it's called. Sorry. Oh, he's done a couple of different things. Nothing. Wow. Okay. The 2000s, he's done a couple of different things. And now this makes me want to go back and watch like a whole bunch of Tim Burton movies just to see if everything runs through. Yeah, they do TV, they do everything.
Yeah. I think there's something that I had seen that I was blown away that he was. I can't find it.
Kick ass.
No, I somehow knew that. I don't know how I knew that, but
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know what it was. But yeah, this movie's great. Like it still to
yeah.
me held up fairly well. I enjoyed it. Way. This is one of those movies I was afraid to watch again because I thought it would age poorly, but it doesn't. I think it still holds up really well.
Nothing. Just the angles, the afterlife where it's dark and it's not what we always think the afterlife is going to be.
Yeah, and this is one of those movies where Tim Burton's style actually really helps it kind of stand the test of time because it works for it in almost every way.
Uh, uh, I thought the casting was good.
Yeah.
The story was good, but like we said, it's just weird. Like I'd never noticed it until now too. Like he doesn't really show himself until like 40 minutes into the movie, and then his most crucial parts are like
Bam, 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 really
yeah,
fast. Yeah.
just done, 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 and then the crotch grabs and everything else because it's not
Yeah.
what is Beetlejuice without a crotch grab?
Yeah. I do like the ending though of the families kind of come together in a
Yes,
way. And I do like that way more than I thought I would. Uh, because the stepmom seems like the worst person for most of it.
yeah, and as as much as like you could probably cast somebody else into this role in a way.
Yeah.
I think Catherine O'Hara is like really good, and I
Oh
think
yeah, she's great.
she kind of used this role in a way. If you've ever seen Schitt's Creek,
Oh yeah, I love that show.
yeah, like I okay, like
Yeah.
I feel like that is kind of what she drew from in that.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
why I liked it so much.
I think you're right. Yeah. Uh, it's just wild. Like we were talking about actors' range. Like she literally plays two very famous moms. This one in Home Alone, and they're two
Yes,
very different characters.
and they're all very close together, aren't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, Home Alone's early '90s. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's pretty much great in whatever she does.
Yeah, I agree completely. She's awesome.
Oh, she was also in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty good. There's like I said, the window thing kind of got to me, but
Yeah.
well, I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I thought the special effects was good. The way that the the settings were good. The way, like you said, the way that they had the sculptures come to life, where it's
Yeah.
stop motion, but then it's
The sandworm stop motion stuff was awesome.
yeah. And the new one, I think it's kind of CGI'd,
It probably is. That's going to make me sad.
but it looks
I do know that he tried to use as
okay.
many practical effects as he could. I think I read that somewhere.
Okay, so but the sandworm reminds me of the Munsters. Okay, like when we watched it as kids,
Yeah.
kind of grainy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But we watch it now on Peacock, and it's not as green. It's
Yeah.
not.
They cleaned it up.
They
Yeah.
cleaned it up. So that's how I feel about the sandworm in the second one. Just a
Okay. Yeah.
little spoiler there.
All
But
right. Well, Andrew, who would you beat?
I am torn. I am so torn because that was the. Normally, I'm like, okay, what am I going to rate this? Anything else? And I'm like, wait a minute, who am I going to be? This is going to be a question.
Yeah.
And I am torn between saying like a practical part, like the father,
Yeah.
Charles,
The character.
the character, not the actual actor, the character. Don't need Chris Hansen in my life. Ortho. 'Cause
Yes.
I really like that. He seems like he's done everything, like paranormal, interior decorating.
Yeah.
He said that he had a degree in chemistry.
Yes.
Like he just seems like a very fascinating person. So I gotta go with, if I'm looking to go outside of the box and outside of my personality, that would be fun. I'm gonna pick two. I know you don't mind. I would pick Ortho, but if I wanted to go with something with more of a comfortable role, think something that I could probably more relate to, the character, the character
Yeah.
is, I'd go with Charles Dietz.
Like, I see that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think those are the two main ones for both of us when it comes to who would we be in the movie. Um, yeah, because I don't. Besides them two, I don't know. I don't know because Beetlejuice is just so out there.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah. I,
And
I mean,
and
I can be a big personality, but like nothing like that. That's like another level.
and then Adam is just so, like I said, Adam Baldwin just seems
He's just
so
a dude. Yeah.
human in this. Just
Yeah.
like a guy.
Yeah. He's just a dude. He's playing it very low key. Yeah. Because he was the other one I was thinking maybe, but I don't know.
Who you got, Johnny?
I
Come on. You gotta pick one.
The Fly.
You go, okay. Well, that's kind of character there. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say you gotta pick one, or you gotta watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Well, The Fly 100 times.
Come on, there's nobody though.
I'm never gonna watch it.
No, but you don't want to be like Dick Cavett part or the
Oh
run.
yeah. No, I mean Robert Goulet's part. That
Okay.
part seems that'd be fun.
I thought he was gonna have a bigger part too. Like
I know he's barely in it.
there's so many there's so many parts in here that somewhere in my mind they're like huge. They're like on screen
when
for
you're
20, 30 minutes or
when
so.
this movie comes on and it's telling you who's in it, Michael Keaton doesn't get a starring. He's not one of the stars. He's an also starring. Which I was like, wait a minute. That's when I was first like, oh, I bet he's not even in this that much, despite him being the title character.
Like it's
Is he in the second one a lot more?
yeah, you see him a lot quicker
Okay, yeah.
than you do in this one. But he, but like I said, that second one reminds me of Frozen Empire. It doesn't, they didn't seem like they wanted to narrow down a storyline.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like all over. And then it it seems like they sat in a room and was like, okay, we got two different stories we can do. And they're like, why don't we just do them both?
Yeah.
Then
They
they're
have
like,
an A and B story and not really do anything with them. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, but what are we going to rate this movie out of?
Uh, Skeleton keys, honks. You want to get it out? There's the underlining. You want to do honks?
How many Junos? Because I think she's a very underrated
Okay.
character in this.
I'll be Junos.
Yeah.
I give this 4.5 Junos. I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I would
No.
put it up. I would put it 4.5.
I'm going to go 4 out of 5 Junos. I agree with you. This movie's very good. It still holds up. I'll probably continue to watch it every Halloween now that I've come back to it. This is a great movie to watch in October.
I've also, for our Canadian friends, this is we're ranking them out of Juno the character in Beetlejuice, not Juno's your like I believe they're music awards up in Canada.
Oh, I thought you meant like Juno, that
No.
Michael Cera movie.
No, there's like some type of Juno's award in Canada. I remember as a kid, like watching the Canadian channel, and they're like, the Juno Awards are coming.
That Juno movie really is really different now, considering what happened to the main character in real life.
Yes, I've thought about that many times.
Because I remember really liking that Juno movie. It's actually quite good. Michael Cera is awesome in it.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, Juno, yeah, because Juno Awards are a Canadian music award.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like their Grammys, I guess.
Yeah. But that is it for he who you cannot say his name 3 times in a row.
That's right. That is right. Andrew, Next week, it's still going to be the month of the scary. What are we doing next week on the Nostalgia Haunted House?
We are doing Teen Wolf because I was just checking that as we were talking, or right before while we were talking before. I was like, you know what? I should check to see if this is streaming anywhere before I make this announcement. And it is streaming. So it is streaming.
The original Teen Wolf.
Yes.
The one where that if you look in the background, that one guy shows his penis. We're gonna watch that.
Wait, what?
You don't know about this?
Oh yeah. Okay. Look,
it's like one of the most famous.
Yeah, no, I know about
movie facts that people love to tell.
He's in the stands.
Yeah, and his penis is just
another great supporting actor too that doesn't get enough credit is damn it, he was also in Pee-wee's Big Adventure and the Leprechaun. I don't know his name, but saying Pee-wee's Big Adventure and the Leprechaun, played Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He seems to be like a great little like supporting character in like a lot of 80s and early 90s.
Oh, he's a good character actor. Yeah. That's what we're doing. So where's that streaming, Andrew?
I want to say just your residential like Tubi and because there's that stupid Teen Wolf movie that they try to like remake it into a normal.
And there's that Teen Wolf TV show.
Yeah, because when I first looked it up, I was like, why is it on Disney Plus? But it is not on Disney Plus. And for some reason, I don't remember Teen Wolf. I figured Teen Wolf came out later, maybe because we were renting videos. Then I thought it came out later than 1985, but it is.
It came out in the same year as Back to the Future, I thought, wasn't it?
Yeah,
85. He was filming them both at the same time. I remember.
And Family Ties.
Yeah. What? Good God. Yeah. Michael J. Fox was a busy guy.
But yeah, Pluto TV and the Roku channel, both for free. Right. And Sling TV if you have premium subscription. Other than that,
so Pluto TV for me.
I'll just kind of throw it up to see what I can find.
There, if you want to watch it along with us, watch it, and we're going to discuss and review it next week here on the Nostalgia Haunted House.
And with that being said, what may not be nostalgia for you may be nostalgia for some.
And daylight coming, me want to go home.